be like, all scripted and like, you know what I mean? But like, this is a big moment for me, and I really appreciate you for giving me the shot and opportunity to talk to you, on the internet.
Absolutely. That's super cool. I like I said, I enjoy doing this and being able to talk ball, kind of reminiscing, now that the playing
Yeah.
over. So, talking about that a little bit and kind of tying that in with what I'm doing now. It's always fun for me. So I appreciate you even having me, man, for real.
Yeah, man. I've been grinding for a while, so it's like to get to this point is definitely something that I really appreciate and want to take this moment and dig into what we're here for. My series for YouTube is called Beyond the Game. So it's not more so like we reminisce a little bit, but it's not more so focused on the NFL career. It's more so of what guys are achieving and what they're doing and helping the community and what they're helping others of what they're doing to have, somewhat of like I would say the goal to get to like completion of a success or whatever, you know what I mean? So that's why I like to call my series Beyond the Game. Like it's more other than football. But I see what you're doing is you're more so giving back to the community of being coaching, the wide receiver coach, and having a lot of stuff that you got going on, man, that I love watching and seeing on Instagram. So if you could dig right into it, let's get right into it. What you got going on right now?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, right now, currently, actually, I'm updating and revamping my APF, which is Austin Pettis Foundation, which I did a lot of stuff while I was playing. Kind of shut that down for a little while I was figuring everything out. I actually work in healthcare now. And then I picked up coaching high school football, off-season training, 7-on-7 club team. So all that kind of rolled into one, all kind of interconnected with the coaches. We all work together as well, too. So it's been probably pretty easy of a transition, in that aspect of actually now I'm a real citizen with a 9 to 5, and I'm not just waking up and working out and playing football. So making that transition, and then also just the coaching aspect, that's something huge. It wasn't something I was actually very interested in, to be honest, because I saw how much time and effort and everything that coaches have to put into it. But then at the same time, I had opportunities that were presented to me to go ahead and start coaching. And I just always wished I had a coach like me. That was kind of my perspective of grabbing onto the coaches thing. Like, what if I was the coach for me when I was at 15, 16, 17? Like, let me go be that guy, because not a lot of people have, that opportunity with knowledge and different things that I was fortunate enough to gain over the years.
Yeah. That's amazing what you just said. Like, what if I had the coach that I was today? That right there is something that I thought about when I was in high school. Because me, I played soccer. It wasn't football. So I played football, but it wasn't like, football. But I played soccer. So I always thought, like, if I was the coach, of myself, I would want that. You know what I mean? To push me, to make me better, to get this extra rep or whatever the case may be. That is something that hits home for a lot of people that are in the 16, 17-year-old age, not thinking like that until later. You know what I mean? So that's crazy.
No, exactly. I mean, it's super cool. I got some really, really talented kids in the Southern California area, and it's just crazy to see their development off of me over the last couple of years, just training them and being around them and that type of stuff, and seeing from where they started to where they get to. And it's just kind of a little bit of validation. Like, all right, there was a reason why I started coaching. Like, I was supposed to give this knowledge back to the kids, for sure. So,
yeah, because when I saw that you were coaching, I was like, oh my God, I definitely got to dig into what he's doing. And like, he has a whole foundation. He has a whole, organization where he's coaching out. Are you just coaching wide receivers, or are you coaching like the entire team?
Yeah, so what we do is we have a whole entire club team. So it's all positions for like 7-on, not linemen, but obviously, quarterbacks, receivers, running backs, DB, linebackers, all that. So we do that. We do Workouts were actually, with everything going on right now, which is really cool for the kids because they all miss spring ball, with COVID.
Yeah.
And we have workouts that the kids' parents just have waivers that they sign, so they're able to come out, and then we record those workouts, and then we send it out to over 50 colleges. So in essence, we're getting them recruited without there being any spring ball with their own high school. So we have a ton of kids that come out all the time, and we have a lot of connections within our coaches. We have some NFL experience with players that are coaching with us right now too. So obviously they have connections to other colleges and things like that. And we just kind of use our whole network and help a kid, because, I wouldn't have been able to go to college if my mom had to pay. So it's just, things like that. If I can help a kid get a scholarship, I don't care where it's at, but you're going to school for free. Like, if I can do anything to help you, then that's what we're doing. So it's really cool. From the 5 stars to the 1 star, like, we're trying to just place everyone and give them tools that we didn't have when we were that age, and we didn't have people looking out for us enough. It was kind of, you got to do it on your own. And the small people that did help you out, you value them so much more, and you want to be like that.
You put them at another level of appreciation, definitely, because they didn't have to look out for you. You know what I mean? So for what you're doing, I feel like that it means so much to not even be involved with what you're doing, but me looking from the outside in, it's like, that's amazing. You know what I mean? Like, somebody has NFL experience, that has the knowledge, that has the, the workout routine that you guys went through, the training camp, the OTAs or whatever, put on the field come Sundays, and then hand that free knowledge out, you know what I mean, to the kids that can take that into consideration, like, and take that full go. Is there any players that are on your team right now that you think will go pro, that you think will take it, that will just take it, all the knowledge, take it into consideration, and full send it?
That is funny that you say that, because we have these conversations a lot, because I've been fortunate enough to be around some of the best high school players in Southern California, and personally train them, have personal relationships, and them go on to bigger and better things in regards to the next level, like top colleges. You talking about all the PAC schools, the UCLAs, the USCs, like all that. So I've had my hand in their success leading up to that level, and it's just kind of validating for me, because those same guys still come back to train with me now, as they reach their success. So that's kind of my validation of them understanding that whatever I gave to them helped them get to that point, and then they want to keep coming back for more. So that's the best part about it. And there's definitely guys who I feel like I have a keen eye. I've been around a very, very talented guys. I've been around a lot of guys who had the talent and didn't make it. So that's kind of where my headspace is I don't want any person that I can see with my eye has the talent to continue on to bigger and better things, not make it because of their faults. Like, let me make up for that and let you know right now, so you're in the best position to, maximize that. So there's definitely a handful of kids that I've been around that they will be playing on Sundays, guaranteed.
Yes, that's what I like to hear, because there's some people that have that hunger, but they're lacking that one thing. And if you can step in and help them get to that point, it's something beautiful to just watch, just like play out. You know what I mean? So that's definitely awesome to play. So I want to transition real quick. Now, as an NFL player, now my channel is based around fantasy football. Do you play fantasy football?
I do. Absolutely.
Nice.
Absolutely. And I'm not bad at it too. I'm not bad at it.
You know what? I interviewed Isaiah P. and Trey Watt, and they both said the same thing. They're not that bad at it.
Yeah.
So please explain how you're not that bad at it.
All right. So this is my mentality. I actually play fantasy almost everything. So my mentality is coming from a educated perspective of being in the league, just what meets the eye as a fan, if that makes sense. So like matchups, who you're playing. I might have this receiver, but he's playing this defense, so this guy's going to be matched up on him. So maybe I'm starting this guy because he's playing, or he's the number 2, so he's not getting doubled. So he might have a better week, So I kind of try and use like my GM knowledge on my players.
So did you play while you were in the NFL? Did you play while you were playing?
I actually didn't.
No. Okay.
Yeah, I did in college. I did, but then once I was actually playing, I wasn't playing with the NFL stuff. But I had every single family member and friends and all that. They were all playing, so they would always hit me up like, "What's it going to be like this week?" Like, So I would.
Yeah.
I'll give them my take on
I can
who
only
I thought.
imagine that text or that call. I can only imagine that. Like, what is it going to look this week? You know what I mean? That's crazy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because I always wonder, was there like chatter in the locker rooms? Was there like, like, oh, this guy's hurt, this guy might go off this week. But as you're as you're in the NFL, that has to be weird to say like, what's going to go happen with my fantasy team? Because I never knew if you guys actually paid attention to it, if you cared about it or played it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would play a little bit, like, but while I was playing, I mean, it wasn't like I was super focused on that. Like, I would have maybe like a combined team with one of my homeboys who I would just kind of, help out and stuff. But they would definitely ask me all the time, and I'd let them know. I'd be like, "Oh, you're playing this team this week, like with your two best players. Like, hey, this is gonna be the matchup. Like, it might not be his best week. Like, you might want to start the third guy on your bench. Like, he's going against this team who he'll probably have a couple more points. So it was, and I was pretty intelligent. I was a smart player, so I understood a lot of how the game works with matchups.
Yeah, because you guys have that leverage. You have that step up. You have the inside. So like guys like me that's on the outside, he's like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna roll the dice and see what happens. You know what I mean? You got the
game plans and how teams are gonna attack another defense because you played them before, so you can be like, that team, like, hey, this is what they're gonna do to him. He's probably gonna have 3 catches. Like, that's just how it is. Like, they're gonna shut him down.
Yeah, right. So you already know. So like for guys like me, we're looking on the inside line, like, nah, you'll get like 9 catches, 8 catches.
Yeah,
but
you don't know that they're shutting him down.
No
game plan.
So, like,
you don't know.
My platform, I like to be like my perspective on most things. I try to be honest. I try to be realistic, and like most of the times where I'm like playing the fence, where I'm like the guy might like be projected to have 7 catches, but I'll play it safe. I'll play 4 catches. You know what I mean? Like that's just how kind of like how my channel, like how my culture, my atmosphere, or what I try to be in perspective. But fantasy is like a crazy space. Try to predict things for guys that you don't know, who had the motivation or healthy, or like there's a whole type of different the dynamics in this field to where you try to preach and try to put out of like what this guy's going to do. Like I don't know, Todd Gurley or Cooper Kupp like from nothing. You know what I mean? So I don't know what they're going to do Sunday. You know what I mean? So like how am I going to be able to be on this mic in front of the screen to say they're going to do this come Sunday? So that's what makes it harder. But for guys like you, when you had your time, you had the upper hand to know like this defense is doing this week. They're going to try to do this, do that. It's like crazy to have that perspective in the locker room.
Yeah, for sure. No, I definitely agree with you. I mean, if I was probably playing seriously or playing fantasy while I was playing, I probably would have won every year. Just understanding how things work, though. But like you're saying, like you understand, like, okay, if a defense is going against the Todd Gurley, like I know what this defense is going to do. They're going to say Todd Gurley is not going to beat us. So that opens now for who? The receivers outside of him. So boom, I need to play that guy out there because they're going to put an extra guy in the box, and now that's one less defender.
Stack that box.
Just that type of thing. Understand, and it's based on team by team. Like maybe one team says we don't care about, for example, Todd Gurley. Like he's got to rush for 200 to beat us. Like, and they're just going to let him. Or another team's like he's not the guy that's going to beat us. We're going to make the receivers beat us. So it's just understanding how defensive schemes work, how coaches work with pride. Some coaches will be like, I don't care if he's good or not, whatever. Or some coaches
that's something that's not thought about in fantasy. That's a whole nother universe dynamic. We're not thinking that. Guys like me, we're not thinking about the coach's mentality, like, whatever. You know what I mean? We're not thinking that. That's something that you just threw a gem at me. Like that I didn't know about.
That's real. I mean, that's how it goes. When you get in game plans, you see how teams played a certain person. It's like, this is what they're probably going to do. So, I mean, a running back can go into that week and be like, shoot, I'm probably not going to go off, but you guys outside are going to have one less defender because they're going to put him in the box and shut me down. So y'all got to go off. Like, and boom, that's, and then people adapt the same, sports works. is a copycat league, not in a bad way, but
yeah,
that week, then the next team is going to do that same thing.
definitely. If we see that's a weakness, we're going to attack that come Sunday and try to get that dub. Definitely. Let's jump into a little bit of Rams, like draft night. Did you know the Rams were picking you?
I didn't actually at all, but draft night was really, really cool because I was fortunate enough to have about like 30, I would say maybe even a little bit more, plus family and friends with me. I was actually out in Newport Beach at a really, really nice hotel.
Nice.
We had a nice little villa, so the whole family was all together. And pretty much I knew I was going to go in the third round. Obviously didn't know what team exactly, but from my combine and my workouts, they told me if I hit, these numbers and looked, this good or whatever it was, like with the 40 or my bench and all that stuff, like this is my range. And they were right pretty much. They said if you run anywhere in the 4.5s and you bench over 10 and you look clean at the combine, running your routes, like, I did really good in my agility drills. I had the best time out of all skill guys that year in the 5-10-5. Like,
yeah, so I was going to comment on that. Like, oof.
Yeah, I did everything I was supposed to do at the combine, and I was a guy who didn't get in trouble, like all that stuff.
That's definitely important that I've seen, like, not even recently, like over time of me being a fan of football. If you get in trouble off field, that puts like a little stamp on you to fall like at least 2 or 3 rounds later.
Always. That was the big thing for me, is making sure that, my off the field stuff matched my on the field. And
keep that same energy.
Yeah, I did. I think I did that really well. So when I got drafted, like it wasn't even not to say that I wasn't like excited to get drafted. I was actually more excited from like my family's reaction, because my family did a lot for me to even get to that point throughout my whole life. Like you think back to when I was 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. I mean, I didn't play football till I was a freshman in high school, but just playing all my travel baseball, travel basketball, like doing all that stuff, like people made to like just help me be an athlete. And then like clearly they all saw that like we got to sacrifice this because he could potentially, be a guy who can play professional sports. And then I get drafted. It was like validation for everyone. Everything you guys did for me, here's the validation. So that was the coolest thing to me, just seeing everyone's reaction. Like we did this all because of this.
That's definitely a way to give back. You know what I mean? The sacrifices that, your parents made at a very young age, where you're just not like thinking about, were you thinking about at 6, 7, 8 years old that you're going to go professional at basketball or baseball or whatever? You know what I mean? Like you don't think you're a professional athlete then.
I didn't think I was, but I come from a professional family. Both sides of my mom and dad, both sides are professional sports. So like that, for a regular kid who can't visualize that, I could, because like there's pictures of your grandpa playing catcher for the Cardinals. There's a picture of your uncle playing center field for the Angels. So it's like that wasn't now too far stretched to me, because it's like, well, I know these guys. Like what I'm saying, like my family knows, like that's a realistic thing. So that was my mentality, like all the way that I can remember. Whenever what do you want to be when you grow up? I would just put pro athlete every single time.
Because when you have that blueprint in front of you, you have to follow it. There's no other route. Like you have the blueprint in front of you, so it's like I can't do anything else if the plan is set out in front of me. You know what I mean? Exactly. So that's great that you had that. And that's great that you had that vision at a very young age. You know what I mean? Some people don't have that.
No, that's true, and that's why I would just backtracking to the coaching thing. That's why I'm glad that I get to coach now, because I'm one of the 1% that I'm saying make sports. So
isn't that crazy that it's only 1% though? Like
it's wild, but it's cool too at the same time, because what if I get 2 people that make it to the next level? Like I'm helping that percent out. That may
you're
not
giving. The way I looked at it when I got from what I got from your Instagram was you're giving those people that vision that there's opportunity to make it. There's opportunity to play professional ball, because you're giving the knowledge that you got from playing in professional ball to them. And it's like in a way, it's free knowledge. Like, you don't have to do this. You want to do this, correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
I sit down with kids and we break down our film, and I'll watch NFL film with the kids and break that down. So it's like, look at the same stuff I'm teaching you when we go out and train. They're doing this right here on the field. Like, this is it. If you want to get to that level, like start treating yourself like that now. Like, that's how you get to the next level. I'm not treating myself as a junior in high school. I want to start treating myself as a pro. Like, and that's
exactly.
Or else you're just going to be a junior in high school. Like, you'll just be another one of them. Like, or I'm going to start treating myself like a pro. That's the separation you can gain.
Exactly. What I was saying was, do you understand how your route running, like your crisp routes, like in the red zone, how can you not hit you in the red zone? That's just me from a fan. So I feel like, are you putting that out to the kids and everything? Are you putting a little swag to a little cockiness? Like, did you see how I did that on film?
I mean, not all the time showing them film, but I show them when we do like workouts. But there is sometimes, because these kids are younger and they like, coach, you too old, you can't do this, you can't do that. So I have to show them the drill, or I have to let them know, like, listen, I'm still top 20 in career touchdowns ever in college football history receiving. So like, listen, go watch the film. Like, don't think too soon. All right, I did good. Like, I was actually one of those guys,
bro. Like, as a fan, bro, like, man, I was a huge fan of you, like, top notch. It was just like, man, like, I felt like you needed shine. I needed you to have wide receiver one opportunity. You know what I mean? And like, as a fan, I know that it's part of business. You know what I mean? So going into draft, they do draft 2 wide receivers, etc. It makes that room crowded. So like, what I was explaining to like Isaiah Peed and Trey Watt, that room was always crowded with such talent that I feel like you don't have to speak on it. You don't have to say anything. You know what I mean? But I feel like they didn't give guys time to develop like the rest of these other teams, to where they have star-studded wide receivers, running backs, tight ends, whatever the case may be at the position. They didn't give time to develop. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree. Well, I think the tough part, just speaking from my perspective, was the coaching staff that I got drafted to got fired that year after the first year.
That I meant to mention that.
Yeah. So when Fisher comes in, it's not like Fisher ever, not to say that he wouldn't have, but it's not like he wanted me. He didn't draft me. You know,
he didn't draft you. You weren't a Fisher guy.
Yeah, I wasn't his guy. And then that year, second year, his first year, my second year, his first year, he drafts 2 receivers. The next year, he drafts 2 receivers. So that means you drafted 4 receivers in the first 4 rounds, 2 years in a row. Like, that's a lot of like, why did you draft them if I'm the number 1 receiver? You know?
And you don't know what you have. That was my big problem. Like, I'm 28, so I think I've been a fan enough to be able to acknowledge and know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, why are you drafting wide receivers when we need this position, O-line, defensive line? You know what I mean? So it was kind of just like he was bringing in more so of guys he favored and not actually focusing, putting the microscope on guys that he have. That was my big issue.
That's the business. That's the business of the game.
That's the business part of it. Yeah.
Like, if I drafted a guy, I got to prove why I drafted him. You know?
Exactly.
Was it Fisher's guy? I mean, the year that they let me play, my 3rd year, I started out the year. I mean, me and Antonio Brown were tied for the most touchdowns in the league through 4 weeks or 5 weeks. And then they said, you can't play no more. And then I didn't get a lot of love anymore. And that kind of fizzled out my career in that aspect. Just kind of went downhill from there. And I probably didn't have the best attitude. I will say that, because I was very, very frustrated. But I just didn't understand how much of the NFL is a business, and it's not about quote unquote. You know, so
I mean, that's the sucky part about it, because at the end of the day, it's like it comes down to a business, but is it always fair?
Yeah, I mean,
it's not. It's because I think guys needed time to develop. But it may be because, like, not for you to actually chime in, to talk bad about the organization, but as a fan, I feel like they just didn't give guys a chance to develop. Like, you don't need to rush into drafting guys, bringing free agency or whatever. Give guys the development. Like, they worked their whole ass off in college, high school to this point. Like, give them time to work for it, to earn it. You know what I mean? And like for me to actually recognize, like, yo, Austin Pettis, bro, give him time to fucking be the guy there and bring nobody in. He's going to be your number one wide receiver, but we didn't get that chance. You know what I mean? That was my problem.
It's tough too when you're in a business, always having to prove yourself, and it's what have you done for me lately. So when you're losing, then that's pressure on you. Now you have to try and fast forward everything to like get to the level of, this is why I'm getting coached. This is why I like this player. This is why he's starting, all that. So like that the development part is tougher when you have a lot of options, whatever room that may be. And like you said, we drafted a lot of guys. So the development part is hard. Like, this guy's not a number one, put this guy in. Oh, he's not, put this guy in, and it just it doesn't give you a chance to like grow. It's just like, who could just be a guy right now? And that's kind of the pressure.
Who can help me right now? Who can win right now? That's the thing that I don't agree with as a Rams fan. That's the only thing that I didn't agree with through the years. And I've been very vocal, social media and stuff, but like, it's like you have to give time for development, man, like these other teams do, because nobody just got nice over 1 year, 2 years. There's guys that are in the fantasy league right now that I'm drafting in the 3rd, 4th round that just got hot right now. You know what I mean? So it's like, I never felt like we got that opportunity. And like you said, when we're losing, it's who can win for us right now.
Yeah.
So to keep into the Rams locker room, are you in touch with any of the Rams players right now? Like, are you in touch with anybody right now? Like OGs, because I count you as the OG.
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of one of them. I'm still cool with a lot of people. I was living in LA till these last couple years. I was out in LA for like 6 years. So like off season, not even just the Rams, but just anyone that would come in town. I was the California guy, so everyone would, I would see people all the time, which was really cool to just visit with them. I'm still, I'm not saying that I like talk to guys on a daily basis, but like if I was to talk to, like Tremaine or TJ McDonald or like,
the Thumper, that's my boy.
Oh yeah, but like a lot of those guys like Brian Quick or Tavon or Stedman. Like if I send them a text, like they would hit me right back. Like we had a really good relationship. Like not even just football wise, but just with a lot of those guys. Like I said, coming down to Southern California, just being cool outside of ball, and a lot of guys I was close with. So I do know a good amount of guys still that are playing. There's not all on the Rams, but I definitely have good relationships. Like I'm pretty close with Keenan Allen and a few other guys that are currently, obviously my cousin Dante with the 49ers, and just a lot of guys that I shared the locker room with. Like I wouldn't say that any of them probably hate me. Like if I just send them a text and be like, "What's up?" I'm pretty sure I get a response back. Like I was cool with a lot of guys.
Yeah, that's really dope that you keep in touch with, what basically everybody. You're not like, focused on the Rams or stuff. I didn't expect that, but like you being part of the OGs, like I was hoping that you still talk to Brian Quick, that you still talk to like, all the other Rams players that were there. So it's like, that's really dope that you still keep in contact somewhat. If you hit them a text, they'll hit you right back. Because it's like when you go to a new team, it's like you're at a new job site. I'm not gonna talk to you because you're my opponent now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nah, well, we had great relationships outside of ball, and I tried to help, like I'm doing now with the high school kids. I tried to help mentor, like the guys that they drafted in the receiver room, along with, I know you remember Brandon Gibson, to Big Gibby. Always cool with him too. That's my guy. But I know he's coaching now too. He's out in the Seattle area. He's coaching.
Man, I can't find him on no social media right now.
Really? I think I got him. Yeah.
I can't find Brandon Gibson or nothing, bro. I can't find Zach Stacy's been ghosting me, bro. He's been ghosting me.
Let me see. Yeah, I got Gibby right here. I'll send you his Instagram.
Yeah, send me that, bro.
Seattle, he's coaching now too, so it's kind of cool to see that transition of other guys that I was able to play with, being in the locker room, kind of see their transformation to coaching again. So I know a lot of guys who are coaching now, actually, but it's real cool for guys I actually played with to see them coaching now too, because I know what they're bringing to the kids that they're around, got their hands on.
Yeah, man, because I love to see you guys who have the NFL training, knowledge, conditioning, and give it back to basically, for free. You know what I mean? So it's like that is what we need more of. I need these, like, I don't want to call it about. I need these veterans, these guys that are legends to be out there just giving out so we can make more players to be great. You know what I mean? Because some of these, like, for somebody that's in my area, we don't have the best options to go out to training, travel, basketball, travel, soccer, or what I mean? Don't have the training camps out there. I'm in Jersey, so it's not much out there for us to have the resources to get better at our craft for something that we see as a dream. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. That's something that's funny that you say that, because I mean, just probably a couple, I don't know, 2 months ago, when I was sitting down kind of thinking about all the stuff while COVID's going on, all these kids are sitting at home. My goal was to bring more awareness, like you're saying, with athletes who have played before. I didn't make, a couple $1 million a year. Like, I know guys who have, like, it's not, I know high school coaching and that doesn't pay a lot, but like, you don't need the money. Like, but
you don't.
Knowledge.
It's giving back.
These kids need the knowledge. Like, I can go back and name off 10 different people throughout my life that helped me get to the next level without me knowing. Like, let's all be those guys for these kids, because I'm coaching high school football, coaching against a lot of people. A lot of kids trained with certain trainers, and then they come to me and I'm like, what is this guy teaching you? Like, hold on. Like, I've been in rooms, obviously, playing at a prestigious college with really smart coaches, and then as well going to the NFL. Like, these coaches get paid a lot of money because they're very, very smart. So I learned from them. So I have more knowledge than Joe Schmo, who just like coaching high school football. Like, I actually can tell you, like, what works at the highest level. So I think
to get you there.
Yeah, the more athletes that will start to get involved more, that's just a trickle down effect. And now
exactly. And I feel like my perspective of things, I feel like most African Americans, not to dig too deep into it, if we all had that same mindset, like you and everybody else that's out there coaching, it will get us off the street doing negative things. It will get us off of, a bad path. It will give us something to do, because most of my friends and like cousins, etc., or whatever, not to dig too deep into it, it's just like, if we had something to focus on, something to do, it would get us away from all that nonsense. You know what I mean? If we had the resources, we have nothing to worry about, left and right path that's all negative. You know what I mean? Because like everybody loves sports. If it's basketball, baseball, football, whatever the case may be, if we just had that outside source, that outside resource, it will help us a ton. No, so I agree. You know what I mean?
I agree. No, I agree 100%. I mean, I think that's why I enjoy it so much, because I don't go around ever like bragging that I played. Like, people ask me, what do you do? Like, I'm just a coach. I never like, I played in the league. That I'd never do any of that. But
that's very humble of you.
Yeah, but to the kids though, there's legitimacy in whatever I tell them, because now they can touch, what they want to be. You don't always get to be around someone who was fortunate enough to, make it to the top level. So like, when I train these kids, I'm around them 4 days a week working out. It's like, I'm damn near touching the league. Every single thing he says has got to be gold. Like, why would he lie to me? Like, but if it was somebody else saying the same thing I was saying, it could be like, yeah, okay, whatever. Like, I'm 16, I'll do it. I'll do my own thing. But it's like, if I say the same thing, it's like, bro, this is how you're going to get to the next level. Then they respect it that much more. So, I mean, I don't use it like that, but the kids respect it in that way. So it's really cool, because when I tell them to do something, they're like, they'll go through a wall for it. Like, they really respect it. So it's really cool.
So You said that you were actually in the medical field, so I basically did some research and seen that you had some relations to the medical field. So, with these kids, are you mentioning CTE? Are you mentioning that's like something that's out there that can happen, like long run or whatever? Like, is CTE a topic basically for you, being that you're in
Um,
the medical field and coaching?
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been so much. I'm more in the medical field, more with like genetic testing
Hmm.
for certain things for like prevention, like just to make sure, kind of see based on your genetic makeup and things like that, what you can be predisposed to for things that you could potentially, start changing lifestyle, um, whether it be, like diet, exercising, whatever that may be, to try and
Hmm.
prevent something that you may be at a higher risk for. So that's like the medical field that I'm in right
Gotcha.
now. But I haven't talked too much about the CTE thing. I mean, for me, like I said, I didn't play football, or I didn't play tackle football. I played flag, but I didn't play tackle football till I was a freshman. So it's not like I was at 6 years old banging heads all
Yeah,
day long,
bang ahead. Yeah,
like leading up to it. So I don't think. I mean, I had a few concussions, but I didn't have like the 20-year. If you fortunate enough to have a career that's that long, you get to play. I didn't have that like span of banging heads all day. I didn't
yeah,
really play defense that much where I had to hit, so it was more
hmm,
avoiding getting hit. So that was
yeah,
kind of my perspective on it. Was, I mean, just being smart as I played, especially like when it's practice and different things like that, which I obviously coach high school. So, we have serious practices where, sometimes it's time to bang heads to just get that toughness up. But I definitely make sure I let the kids know like to be smart while you're playing. To be honest, like it's cool to get the extra 2 yards because you tried to run somebody over, but it's also cool to dive in the ground and you don't get your head rocked,
yeah.
and
To get up the next play and not be dizzy or
the
like any of
stars.
the other.
Yeah, so I kind of, because that's how I play. Like I can either try and run this guy over, or I can just dive at his feet and still get the same 2 yards that I had and not go helmet to helmet with somebody. Like,
Yeah, I'm
or
sure. Like in your career, or like in high school, you took a lick. Like it's like this dude wrist a little bit of percentage of CTE hitting me like that. You know what I mean? Like head to head.
absolutely, but I mean, if you're just smart enough, the least amount of those, because you signed up for that, that's a
That is true.
possibility. The
Yeah,
least amount you could take, the better. So that's how I
yeah,
play. Like, there's three guys right there. I'm not trying to be a superhero. Like, let me just get down and get back up and get to the huddle. Like, let's keep
yeah,
it
man.
pushing.
So I want to ask you, what's next for you? What's the 2021 goal? Because I chalked this year's up as a dub, basically because of COVID. So it's like, what's next for you? What's gonna be next for you to elevate to what you're doing now?
I think actually that's a good question because my goal right now is obviously get through this year, but over the last 3 years, I've been building a very very solid database of kids, all age groups that I train with. All the
Mhm.
way from I'd say probably like sixth grade up to
Nice.
now kids who are at college. My cousin Dante's the NFL, and just being around all that. So I have a wide range of training, but the end goal for me would be a facility and being able to just do that all day long. And
Only in California?
yeah, in SoCal, being in Orange County area, there's a couple down here.
Yeah.
I want one, and I have a very very vast network of guys, and I know who are kind of on the tier of like playing, not playing, just got done playing, trying to figure it out, and I
Yeah.
want to have a facility where I can be like, hey, like just come here and let's teach these kids, like, and we can get paid for it.
Yeah.
Like this is your second career, like, and it's talking about what we knew best, playing football.
Exactly.
and,
And that's
and,
something
and
you enjoy at the same time. So it's not like it's a hassle or if it's like, I don't know if I want to do that. You know what I mean?
it's not a 9 to 5. You don't got to put a suit on and sit at your
Nope.
computer. Like, let's just come in here and let's train these kids and get them all better. And I know a good few guys who are trying to get into that space, but I just would love to just have a facility where that could be something that happens all day long, where you just have different sessions, different age groups coming in and teaching them to be a pro from fifth grade on.
Yeah,
Like
man.
to on that path right now, because we didn't have that when we were younger. Like I didn't have nothing extra training. Like I didn't have nothing until I got into the league. Like that's
No,
a
man.
personal trainer. Like
I played soccer by accident.
Yeah.
I've been playing since I was 6 years old, man. And by the time I was like 9 or 10 years old, that's where it stuck because I actually enjoyed it. But my mom kind of just put me in to do something.
Yeah, go run around.
I mean, exactly. So I got good at it. I played all through middle school, high school. You know, I didn't go to college for it, but whatever. But it was kind of just like, something to do.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we need, man. It's definitely what we need at that age. You just need something to do. And a lot of kids don't have this.
Yeah, like you said, it needs something to do, but then also do it the right way. And that's what I want for these kids, because then it's not like, oh God, I gotta go to practice. No, it's like I'm about to go.
Make it fun, make it like enjoyable that you want to be there, man. That's important.
Doing if I was that age, that's what I want to be doing, and that's kind of how I do it,
I definitely need it. A lot of my coaches, man. I ain't gonna say nothing, but I don't know who's gonna watch this, but I'm not gonna say anything. But there's that. But to transition to something else, man, XFL happened. It came and went. Now I saw that you were involved in the flag football team, right? And you were killing them in the red zone once again.
Yeah. I had to score at least once.
Now, what are your thoughts? Like, there's talks that they'll come back, but now if they were still, let's say, alive and well right now, was there a chance that you will get back into it or coaching maybe?
I mean, I had a good few opportunities for like Canada and different things like that. And I mean, I just, like we were talking about earlier, just the business aspect of it, I was almost too mentally checked out of
turned off of
having to go through that stuff again. And I fortunately, which I didn't know was going to happen, accepted coaching about a year and a half after I was done playing, but I didn't know how much I was going to like that, so that kind of solidified it for me. Like my real, to me, I guess you would say, purpose is to just get in as many kids' ears as I can and help give them the way to you know what I mean? Like with somebody who is fortunate enough to have that opportunity and make it. Like you're not just reading a book or some random guy who watches football on Sundays telling you what you're supposed to do. Like, I actually got into the locker room, like I was around all these guys. I was a student of the game from an early age, and I was a student of the successful players that I was have to be around too. Like, what is this guy doing when he wakes up in the morning to when he goes to sleep at night, and like just taking little nuggets here and there from guys, whether it came to taking care of your body or diet and excessive training outside of work. Like I had personal trainers. I went on diets. I, got my body fat down, wake up at 6 a.m. and make myself shakes, like then go to have another shake. You're like, like just the little things that you don't think about how much an athlete puts into it. I'm trying to get you to comprehend that at this young of an age. Like, what if you started this at 16 years old and you treated your body like a professional athlete? Like
that's something I thought about too. You know what I mean? Like, if I knew what I knew that you guys went through, what you guys did, and if I treated myself that way, maybe even earlier, like 14, 15, oh my God, I would have been in MLS. I would have been in the league somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It's crazy because I see the people who actually went to school with, made it to that point. I had a girl that she went to Rider University. It's out here in Jersey. She played in the World Cup and actually scored against Honduras. Wow. So it's like, that's amazing to see. But thinking back when I went to school with her, she treated her body, she treated her mentality, her mindset, every practice as if she was going to be in the league. So that's that mindset that was probably put into her for somebody that's like you, taking the knowledge to these kids out here and put her on that path. So again, that's what I preach, man. Like, we need more of that.
No, for sure. I mean, I'm trying to help other guys too who are thinking about getting into it and all that stuff. Like, the humble guys, which majority of guys are, but the humble guys who played in the league, made it to the highest level, you said, the less than 1% that do, like the brain power is so much more to these kids than catching a touchdown or getting an interception. Like being able to give that back to the youth, not like I told you how to win on this route, but giving you the knowledge of how to be a pro. Like that, I just think that there's a lot of kids who are missing out because they don't have someone that can teach them at a young age. Like this is how you need to fine tune your mind. If you can tell me all day you want to be a pro, but how are you acting? How are you?
Yeah. What are the steps you're taking to be a pro?
Exactly. I can say it all day long, but what am I doing to actually be that guy? So I think that that's the coolest part for me. And a lot of these kids, they do though. You can tell when a kid catches on to what you're telling them because it's the kid who's waking up. He comes to the workout. He's like, I already lifted this morning. Like, I got to work out this afternoon. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, like you're getting it.
That's what you like to hear, man.
You want to diet? Like, yeah, I'm on a diet. What'd you have last night for dinner? Like I had salad. I had my greens. I had this vegetables. I had this meat. Like, okay, did you have a shake this morning? Yeah, I did. Like, all right, so
nice. You're ready to go.
Treat yourself like a pro. Like I'm saying, like
hell yeah, man.
For yourself, for real.
Definitely. Now to close it out, I got random questions. Now your cousin, Untitled Pettis. He had this question in training camp. It was a mini camp. You know what I mean? He had this question. Would you eat with a spoon or fork for the rest of your life?
Fork.
Fork? Why?
For sure, because I could still scoop up like some soup or something with my fork, but I can't stab my meat with my spoon. I think
that's the exact way I looked at it.
That makes sense.
That's the exact way I looked at it.
For sure.
It's like the spoon is like, I don't know, man. Like I eat with a fork most of the time. Like at least 70% of the time, I eat with a fork.
Easy.
That was such a good question he asked during training camps. A lot of people were just like, I don't know. Like, let me think about this. That was such a deep question where, like, me and you right off the bat, it was simple.
Yeah. That's funny.
But like his training camp questions are like the best, but that was like the best one that I had to pick out and ask you, like, what you thought.
Yeah. No, Dante's a good guy. He's funny, man.
Man. He's like his character, because I only seen him on the videos and stuff that, the 49ers put out. And like, he seems like a very like, outgoing, like a good personality type of dude, right?
Yeah. I mean, he is. I mean, it's, if you know him, then yeah. You know what I mean? Like he's not.
But what you showed, it looks like it's a time to be around him, bro. Just questions.
For sure. I mean, he's super fun. I mean, he's definitely. I mean, like Dante, he was a more of like a soccer basketball guy, and then I kind of started having because I was the first player in our family for the most part to actually like play football seriously. Mm-hmm. So like he kind of picked that up at a younger age. Like I was going to his Pop Warner games, all that while I'm playing. So it was kind of like I was like the look up to guy because I was having a little bit of success in high school too, and I love seeing him. He was a baller still at that age too. Like he's the tallest kid on the field playing running back, running past everyone. And Pop Warner, like he was a guy, so I knew he was going to be good. So I always made sure I kept up with him, and he was always just a really, really good kid, not worried too much about like the outside stuff, but really focused on like what he's trying to do, and that was just get better at sports. He's interested in like art and photography and things like that. I mean, everyone knows he loves like cats and all that, but like he's a really well-rounded kid who just happens to be really good at sports too. So it's actually really good.
You teaching him some routes? You out here coaching him some routes?
Yeah, we train all the time. Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm telling you, man, I saw a lot of you in some of the red zone routes I was just like, hold up. And the thing is, to be honest, I didn't know you guys were cousins. I did not know you guys were cousins. Yeah. I had to put two and two together after a while. Like, they have to be related. They have to be.
That's the little cousin. His dad is the third base coach for the Astros. He's
wow.
What he played with MLB. Yeah. So he played for the Angels for a good few years, had like 6-7 gold gloves, and then played for the Tigers and the Rangers too. Yeah, so he's
you got a family full of professionals, man. That is beautiful.
It's really cool. That's what I was saying. It's just cool to just I saw the path early on. I was fortunate Like,
you had the blueprint, man, and all you had to do was follow it, man. That's all you had to do.
Yeah, it was super cool.
Last question.
Yep.
Lamar Jackson or Pat Mahomes?
Man, Woo! You can't go wrong either way. I would say from a personal perspective, because the reason I started playing football was Michael Vick. That's why I started playing football. So I would pick Lamar because he's more.
Yes, sir.
So, but Michael Vick, I wore 7, everything. I wanted to play quarterback. Like, I tried. Like, I was all right, but they're like, "Hey, just go out to receiver and run some routes," and I was better at that. So,
like, 04 Vic, really 03 Vic, undefeated, man. That Madden game, 04 Vic is God mode, bro.
Literally, I still right now have every single color of the Falcons jerseys: red, white, and black, all Vic. Like, in my license picture, I had a Vic jersey on. Like, I was a big fan. So he was my guy for real.
Oh man, bro, damn! This was a great time, man. I definitely appreciate you coming on as an obvious fan and a fan of you personally. And it's like, I love what you're doing. You know, coaching these kids up to be pros, to have the pro mentality, man. It's really amazing. And I want you to know, like guys like me on the outside really appreciate what you're doing for these kids, man.
No,
deeply from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah, I appreciate that for real, man. It was very cool. I'm glad we got to finally get the right timing to get.
Yeah. COVID hit, man, and messed everything up, man.
I know, but no, I'm glad, man. It's real cool. I do enjoy this stuff, and you know, it's always good to reminisce a little bit, and then kind of, you know, you're helping me out, I'm helping you out. I think that's something that everyone needs to be doing at this point. Like, we got enough stuff going wrong in the world right now. You know, we might as well try and do some good.
Yeah, do some good, man. And I appreciate what you're doing for the kids, man, because that hits me home. Because, like, I wish, like you said, I had the coach that I would be for me back then. You know what I mean? That was probably like the biggest thing that you said this whole entire interview, where it really hit home. Because it's like, if I had me back then, I would be, you know, off doing something very successful. But we need more of that to help the kids that are out here young, not having that mindset, because times have changed. We got tablets, you know, YouTube and internet, TikTok. They're distracted very easily. So if you could be a guy that had the NFL experience to give out to these kids, but look, if you focus on this, you do that, you could have this, and you know what I mean. That's really great.
No, it's dope. It's dope, man. It's almost like you're a teacher. You know, like, it's like I get to really teach. Like, I don't care. It doesn't really matter what I did, but I do have the knowledge. Like, I graduated from professional sports. Like, I got to that level, you know? So, like, when I get to teach them knowledge, it holds a lot of weight for these kids, and to see them develop. I mean, that's the most satisfying thing, is when you see, you know, the stuff you're teaching them and their success comes from it. It's like, all right, this is all worth it for real.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah, man. Thank you again, man. And we'll catch up another time, you know.
Stay in touch for sure. For sure. We can do this.
Maybe we'll come in for a reunion, because I know Isaiah Pede wanted to come in with you and Kenny Britt. Kenny Britt, he got his own thing going on right now. Yeah. Now, Kenny, I've been in contact with him for the last 2-3 years, man. And I finally built up the courage to ask him for an interview. And he's been busy. He's been very busy lately.
He's a good dude, though. He'll do it.
He's from Jersey too, bro. So it's like he got to give it that solid.
I like Kenny a lot, man. He's a freaking funny dude too.
I've seen it, bro.
I've fun with that for real. He's funny.
Yeah, man. I can't wait. And damn, man, we'll catch up for that reunion. Maybe we can get all y'all on here, man. That'll be amazing.
Let's set it up.
Set it up, bro. All right, man. I appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
You as well.
All right, man. Thank you.
Yep.
Peace, man.